The only thing that accounts for, in my view, is the if you really want to have a child, if you want to become a mother or father in the concept of parenthood, then it becomes a very important decision to marry early or. Hello and welcome to Ashish Unique Mindset. This is your friend Ashish. So in this video, I'm going to discuss a very personal topic and a very important topic in my view. The concept of marriage and why it is one of the most important decisions to take or not to take in one's life. Because this decision will not only percolate your own through the lives of the two people that take the decision, but also is a determinant of of the life of another human being who is coming onto the planet through our consciousness and our conscious decision. Before asking people to what to do and what not to do, let me take my example and honestly put it out how I approach the decision, how I am still approaching the decision. So I am 36 now, and I'm, with respect to age, I'm well qualified enough to have an opinion on this topic. Variables that I have a decent job, and it's all those determinants are also are considered into what I'm saying. Let me take my example and how I see myself in this equation and how I approach the decision of marriage. Whenever I approach any new thing in my life, I approach it with a certain view that what has the equation been like prior to me taking this crucial decision. So, and please refer to the transformation video if somebody is new to the channel, to give anyone a context of where I'm coming from and what my beliefs are. Okay, so I talk about myself as an example. I do not preach or tell people what to do and what not to do. And I solely believe that it is the unique mindset of an individual that takes the calls, and that's how it should be. One must look at his or her own life and the equation that they are having as partners, not only as in terms of romanticism, but in terms of day-to-day micro activities. What is the person like? Because in long-term things such as marriage, this is what will count. What is the relationship we are having with the extended family in terms of honesty as a parameter? Maybe that can be because in this quest of getting liked, we often ignore our own choices and preferences. What do we want? We lose the power of our assertiveness in the fear of losing the other person. But we have to be honest, and often romanticism covers this honesty because we are getting some kind of a pleasure through the romantic relationship, and the fundamental questions get missed. That is why sometimes I feel even therapy and counseling is quite good in this regard, because they teach how to be assertive, how to confront questions in life. They actually are quite helpful in this regard. Real importance of biological age in my life. If I am having a love or wanting someone just to have a son or a daughter, then it's perfectly fine to marry at the right age. Then it's quite important, in fact. But if somebody is not having that notion of is not really having the desire of becoming a parent, or is not ready to become a parent, there is no reason why anyone should be obsessed about the biological age getting increased. So that's very simple. What person really wants? It's the desire coming from really within, or is it being coming from whether your friends are also becoming parents, and there is this community seeking a part of the community, longing for being in a community. Where is the desire coming from? Is it coming from within, or and that is why I request people to to include everybody in their circles, to have everybody in their circles, not to close their circles when you are married or not. So that will bring a sense of inclusivity to everyone's life, and people will not be so insecure or being so lonely that they are compelled to think in certain way. Because as we age, even the friends that we have, they are also so busy that we are not able to discuss our problems with them so frequently. And life is a very frequent process. It requires constant dialogue within people, and that seems to be a bridge when marriage has really dawned upon our lives. That seems to be a problem. I see it as an issue between friends, and how we are not able to understand each other in the problems that we are having. Not all friends, but few of the friends that I have talked to or have interacted with, I realized this, that people are not understanding each other's problems. That either someone is thinking that we have a lot of things in our plate, and the other person is not, and the other person is not realizing that the same thing, that this person has also got a lot of things going on, a lot of responsibilities. So this bridge is also there very much in conversations of close friends, and that also needs to be worked on by mindset of people, that it is not about whether what responsibilities you are carrying. It is about how to bring about an honest conversation between friends and people, so that we both understand what the other person can help the other person in, and not be closed like a horse in a race, that having blinders on both sides. It's not like that. So this will, in my opinion, bring down the lot of problems that are noticeable after marriages, which are not good at all. And because which are not good on a person to person basis, and also for the lives that the person we are bringing in this planet, it's not good for them. Because I believe it's a conscious decision through which life comes on this world. It's a conscious decision, and we should not take it lightly and take it through our whims. Very important. In my example, I'll not say much about others, but in my case, when I saw the pleasure of getting to do the exercises that I do and the regime that I follow, I was not obsessed at all. I am not obsessed at all towards marriage, and when the time will come, because I'm clear in what I believe in and what I want for myself. Because that's how knowledge and self-reflection does on a day-to-day basis. It brings about a certain level of clarity and authority over the key questions that is the 80% of our lives, the 80-20 rule. The 20% of our key decisions determine the 80% of the life that we have. And this is one of the most important and crucial decisions in anyone's life, that one must ask each other and ask within first. And if you are gravitated towards good activities, meaningful activities, which do not put down your own fire within, and bring the best version of you to the forefront each day, and that is the main effort of your day-to-day activities. It's a much wiser alternate than to seek obsessively. Not to say that, okay, I'm not seeking at all, but not to seek obsessively. Because when a person is looking at the biological age and seeking obsessively, most often it will be not good in terms of how they approach a question of this question, because most often it will be a compliant decision according to the situation. Because it will be very putting our egos aside while asking these questions honestly, because ego and honesty doesn't go hand in hand. Even with our own selves, it doesn't go hand in hand. Whenever there is ego, there is we will defend ourselves. That is how I think, and that's how I really view it as a on a subjective level also, that if we have to be honest with ourselves, we have to be open to criticism and open to tough questions, answering tough questions, and within ourselves. If we do not, if we let our egos go beyond us, and when we are interacting with the other person with a certain amount of ego is always there, but should not we should not be neglecting the fact that there is this presence of ego within us. If we are mindful about ego and constructive about it, we can actually take good decisions, good assertive decisions also with ego, and with what do we want. We can direct the ego in proper direction rather than being neglectful and being um, worrying about what we can lose. In my initial years, I had a longing for a relationship, a loving relationship where I could be of some value. But due to my own constraints and my own lack of health and mental health issues that I have already described in the video of physical and spiritual transformation, I I wasn't getting any reciprocation from the other gender, and this was a cause of deepening my depression initially to a large extent. I won't deny that, but as I ventured through my life, as I ventured beyond that feeling, because everybody has to go beyond any feeling first of all, because that is what fighting and fighters are made up of. It is not succumbing to any feeling or decision or a judgment that okay, this is what it is. It is always going beyond firstly. So I went beyond this apprehension that why am I not getting love, because a given is a given. So then I realized it, and I focused on my parents and my family, and they did not pressurize any other decisions, and they were conscious enough through the life struggles that we were going through my illness and through my depression, that what struggles really are. So they were very kind and loving in that respect. We were friends that life as a method of conveying, as a divine method of conveying what it wants from you, what it asks of, what are the situation it bestows upon you, and how you should walk and not contradict it too much. I'm a firm believer in that, because the moment I believe that is the true definition of going with the flow, even though it has a broader meaning and a broader context. But to begin with, you have to be very, very honest to the path that is given upon you. I was quite conscious about that, and whenever I did not get the love, I did not seek it that much after a point, and not even after a point, I did not seek it at all. And when I did seek, when I was stable enough and mentally, I was not uh, reciprocated in the manner I wanted it to be, in path of self improvement, because that was maybe one of the reasons that I could find love. That is always one feeling one has, that, and it is a not a predominant feeling anymore. It is always there in the back of the mind, but it is not why somebody does anything for self improvement, because any bigger purpose that one has, it elevates you from the other notions that you had, and it takes a back burner somewhere in your psyche, that if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Let it be that way, as it is. So I I never approached. I never got the romantic form of love, so I did not approach it in a mad way, or a seeker kind of a way. I did not do that because it was not healthy for me and it is not healthy for the other person also. I knew where my dynamics and my thinking was in this regard. As I did for myself to go into the journey of self improvement, as I did with my physical transformation and weight loss. And I was educated enough to understand one thing, that even if I do lose weight, it is not going to. It's not like it's going to go back forever and not come back. And it was a constant and continuous process that I have to be involved in and dedicated towards. And I knew that this is a long process, and I knew the concept bit of. I Nobody knows the concept of time, but I knew that what I needed to allocate time to, which activity, and how I needed to go about my day. So I was not gravitated or obsessed about marriage anymore, and I was okay to let age take its own path. It let its own path and gradually go on the incremental loop. And am always ready for those constructs, that if it has to, let it be, because I know the reality, and one must always have the guts to confront the reality that what it's going to be like 10 years from now, if you are, and if you aren't married or not in a relationship. The only thing that accounts for, in my view, is the if you really want to have a child, if you want to become a mother or father in the concept of parenthood, then it becomes a very important decision to marry early or to delay that. So that was an honest talk, friends. It was a very important video, I feel, because it was straight from the heart. No, I did not put anyone else as the example but myself. And I would really ask people to subscribe to the channel, like the content, because it's from the heart. It's not something that's made up or seeking something. And do share in comments what you feel about my views and what are your opinions about the same subject. And have a great life ahead. Take care of your loved ones and yourself. Thank you.